Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. And this week's episode is a Sunday reset and recap. So I actually didn't include the reset in this simply because it was more so like a reset of like my creativity, I guess. I haven't painted in a while, so I wanted to like try that for just my little solo activity for this week. I tried writing, but it felt a little stuffy. I don't really like pressuring myself into writing. There are a lot of times where it just kind of flows, and there are other times where it's just, okay, maybe we need a different outlet. So that's what today's video is, just an outlet. I actually went into this painting like low key with no idea of what I wanted to do. I just picked the first color that like kind of jumped out to me, and that was red. And like while I was doing that, I was kind of just thinking about like what kind of emotions I feel that red evokes. I feel like, of course there's like desire and anger, lust, power, so many like powerful connotations behind it. And that's kind of why my eye just went to it today. I'm working with watercolor paint. The difficulty in that is I don't know why I just stuttered, but I typically do better with acrylic paint. Like majority of the paintings in the background I painted with acrylic paint. But occasionally I do watercolor. Like even when I use acrylic paint, I will still use watercolor techniques while painting. Why? I'm not sure, but that's just the way it goes sometimes. But as I was saying, so I was just I guess I was going for something floral from the beginning. Actually, let me look at the painting here. So I have the painting here. And in the beginning, I was going for something floral. Like those little hair-like strokes that I was making. Once I ended up getting a glance at how like the points of the hair-like strokes create this kind of like bud, I kind of wanted to go in and make some kind of like rosettes at the end, almost like rose-like. Yes, but I think ultimately I just went in a different direction. Sometimes I just do very like repetitive things when I'm painting just to see what works, what sticks. And I guess today's fixation was these like hair-like strokes in the bottom right quadrant. So this is, you see me start to like lose the process here. Like I'm like, okay, what am I doing? Where is this going? Honestly, I think it was really good that I did this today, because not every piece of writing that I put out, or every picture that I take, every video that I create, every painting that I paint is always this like, como se dice? I'm trying to find the words here, but not everything is, in my opinion, to my standards, it's not always like a masterpiece. And that's okay. That's okay. I really don't put the pressure on myself to make every work my best work. But it's me, and I'm a bit of a perfectionist. So everything that I put out it's trust. It's gonna be good. But there are some days where I feel like I put so much pressure onto, the end product. And it's like, it's good to have these days where you just, lay the paint out in front of you and just do whatever comes to mind. Like, it doesn't always make sense in the beginning. But eventually it does. Eventually it comes together. So yeah, this is where I'm starting the kind of like flower rosettes at the end of those hair-like strokes. I feel like Bob Ross just a little bit. And so I think the lesson here is, because I ended up turning this is watercolor pad paper, by the way. It's not a canvas. I do have canvases like behind this setup that I have right here, but I didn't use them just because I was doing more of an abstract work. I don't like using canvases for things that I don't have like specific ideas for. Back to what I was saying. Yeah, so I turned the canvas because I realized I was really cooking here with the hair-like strokes and like the rosettes. I was almost a little mad that I didn't start this like boxed outline. I was almost mad I didn't start it at the edge of the paper, because then this could have been some kind of like landscape almost. But in this scenario, I turned the paper because just to shift the perspective, I realized like, oh, this actually is coming together. This actually is looking like something. The question is, what? And now that I've created this kind of division in this box in contrast to how, floral and almost, I'm looking for a word, I can't find it, but almost how floral and nature, like the top portion of what I have painted was, I was just so incredibly confused on where to go next. So I ended up picking up like this more orange red I thought at first what I was going to do was create another box right beside it, almost like a garden of sorts, but you'll see in the end, like it ends up taking a whole other direction. And I think the good thing about having days like this is just allowing yourself to start over. It's very easy with watercolor paint. Like, the more water you add, the more you can blend the colors together and create these different layers of saturation. So I take that paint on this like rectangular brush. I know what this brush is called, but right now it's not coming to me. So I was almost about to create like another box for it, but I end up changing that because I just didn't like the boxes. I felt like that was very far from the connotation and the emotions that the colors were evoking. So I ended up going back and blending all of the red and the orange together and adding a bit of yellow in there, just because that's the color my eyes went to, and then using the smoky brown to create these flowers. And then I wanted to try splattering, which I've never done in any of my paintings ever. But it all started to come together because I was getting frustrated, which made the splattering even more fun to do. I had already drawn the flowers in the kind of, I forgot what they're called, pistils or something like that. I had already started drawing those. So when I added the splatter, I was like, okay. And then on this right hand side, I created these like pine tree-esque figures. I'm not sure. But yeah, that was it for today. And then I watched Alandria's Golden Globes vlog. And here's this cute picture my sister took.